In the heart of California, surrounded by dense woods and shrouded in mist, lay Willow Lake, a place of serene beauty, yet ominously silent. Its dark waters mirrored the sky, and whispers of its eerie past lingered among the locals. They spoke of a ghost, a woman of haunting beauty who wandered the lake's edge, waiting for something or someone. Jack, a photographer in his early 30s, was drawn to the lake by its reputation. He wasn't one to believe in ghost stories, but the allure of capturing its haunting beauty under the moonlight was irresistible. He set up his camp on the lake's shore, the stillness broken only by the gentle lapping of the water. On his first night, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Jack noticed a figure standing by the water. She was breathtakingly beautiful, her pale skin glowing softly in the twilight. Her long dark hair cascaded over her shoulders, and her dress seemed to flutter, though there was no wind. She introduced herself as Alara, a local who loved the lake's tranquility. Their conversations began awkwardly, but soon Jack found himself captivated by her charm and knowledge of the area. Alara seemed to know every hidden corner of the lake, guiding Jack to the perfect spots for his photographs. There was something timeless about her, as if she belonged to a different era. Jack dismissed his unease, chalking it up to the lake's mystique. Over the next few nights, Jack and Alara grew closer. Her presence was magnetic, and Jack found himself longing for her company. She was always there when he returned from his day's work, waiting by the shore. But there was an undercurrent of sadness in her gaze, as though she carried a burden too heavy to share. One evening, as the moon rose high, Alara's demeanor shifted. She grew quiet, her usual warmth replaced with a somber tone. "Jack," she said, her voice barely above a whisper, "you should leave this place before the next full moon. The lake, it has a way of taking those who stay too long." Jack laughed nervously, brushing off her warning. But later that night, as he lay in his tent, her words echoed in his mind. The following day, curiosity got the better of him. He drove to a nearby town and visited the local library, hoping to uncover the lake's secrets. In an old, dusty book, he found a story about a young woman named Alara who had lived decades ago. She had fallen deeply in love with a man who promised her the world, only to betray her. In a fit of rage, he pushed her into the lake during an argument, leaving her to drown. Her body was never recovered, and since then, tales of her spirit haunting the lake had spread among the locals. Jack's blood ran cold. Could it be the same Alara? He tried to rationalize the coincidence, but the thought of her being a ghost unsettled him deeply. Yet, he couldn't deny his feelings for her. He decided to confront her. That evening, Jack returned to the lake, his heart pounding. Alara was there, as always, standing by the water. Her expression was unreadable. "Who are you?" Jack demanded, his voice trembling. Are you even real?" Alara's eyes filled with tears. "I tried to protect you," she said softly. "I thought you might be different, but the lake, it demands a soul with every full moon. I can't fight it." Jack stepped back, fear gripping him. You mean to kill me?" he stammered. Alara shook her head, her tears falling freely. "I didn't want this, Jack, but the lake doesn't care about what I want." Suddenly, the calm surface of the lake began to ripple violently. Jack felt an invisible force pulling him toward the water. He struggled, but his feet slid closer to the shore. "Alara, please," he screamed. "I trusted you." Alara's expression changed, her sadness replaced with something darker. "You lied, Jack," she whispered, just like he did. Jack froze as memories flooded back to him. He wasn't the innocent man he pretended to be. Years ago, he had betrayed a woman who loved him, leading to her death. He had come to Willow Lake not just for photographs, but to escape his guilt. Somehow, the lake knew. The force dragged Jack into the icy water. He gasped for air, but the lake swallowed him whole. As his vision blurred, he saw Alara standing above him, her face serene, almost peaceful. The last thing he heard was her soft humming. Days later, a local fisherman found Jack's abandoned tent. Nearby, his camera lay in the mud. The last photo on it was chilling, a blurred image of Alara's ghostly face. Her lips curled into a faint smile as she stood over Jack's lifeless body. Alara disappeared after Jack's death, but her story remains. On moonlit nights, her humming can still be heard by those brave or foolish enough to visit Willow Lake. Some say she still waits by the shore, searching for someone who might finally break the lake's curse. But most believe her love is a trap, as deadly as the dark waters themselves.